Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Guns and Gadgets. Today, this video is going to be something a little different. We're going to talk about how I was victimized and the lessons that came from that this weekend. So, not a 2A news per se, but this is a lesson that you, as a gun owner, should know, or probably do know, but needs to be reinforced. Okay, and I hope you all had a phenomenal Memorial Day. If you head over to blackoutcoffee.com/GNG and use HONOR24 as your coupon code, you can still save 24% off coffee. It's not going to last long. I don't know when we're going to stop that. It's going to be sometime today, so jump on it. HONOR24 at blackoutcoffee.com/GNG. Links are down below. As many of my viewers know, I was making posts at this training event I was at, and it was in McDonough, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. And part of this training event was firearms training, pistol and rifle training. You can never get enough training, and you should be worrying right now about your next class you should be taking. And unfortunately, there were 10 of us that had our vehicles broken into. And I'm disgusted with a few things, including law enforcement. And we're going to talk about that today. This is going to be my little kickback, enjoy some sunlight, and just talk to y'all, be a little intimate, let you know, get behind the curtain. So we were staying at this hotel. It was a Marriott, Fairfield. And without giving people's personal information out, we were being cased. No question in my mind now. We were being cased. People were... Obviously, you see people coming to an event and taking, Pelican cases in and out of their vehicles over a couple days as they're going in and out of the hotel to the event, or coming back to sleep. Well, early Sunday morning, in fact, I know when my car was broken into because I have OnStar, at exactly 4:43 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a couple of thugs were breaking into people's vehicles. A couple dirtbag criminals were looking for guns because they only broke into our vehicles, and of our group, they only broke into the trucks that were there. The people who had cars, it was trucks and Jeeps. People who had regular passenger cars weren't affected. Unfortunately, one other person who was not associated with our group, he was broken into as well because he had some indications that he might, be a freedom person. Not everybody who was broken into even had markings on their vehicles. I have 0 markings on all of my vehicles for a reason. So it's obvious we were being cased. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. The pollen's killing me. 10 vehicles, like I said, 10 of us were broken into, or 9 of us, plus the unfortunate gentleman who was guilty by association. And they got a lot of stuff. And before I say what I'm going to say, I want you guys and gals to know that this could happen to you at any time. So I'm not casting judgment on any of us, nor am I asking you to, but I'm looking to reinforce something. So of our vehicles, we'll include that poor guy who was lumped in. 4 guns were stolen from vehicles. It could have been more. I brought my guns in. They slept next to me, like they typically do whenever I go onto an event. But these people were watching people going in and out of their cars with their Pelican cases over the last couple days, and decided, you know what, we're gonna break into their stuff Sunday morning because they're probably gonna leave soon. And one person had one of those, the clamshell metal lock boxes with a cable that goes like around your seat support. They cut the cable and stole the whole lockbox. A couple other people had items other places in their vehicles that were stolen. And the ones who did have guns, like truck guns, and didn't get them stolen, were people who had proper safes, real safes by companies who install them, not the ones that are just cabled to a post or whatever. So here's the moral of the story. And here's what I learned and how I'm changing what I do a little bit. I have those lock boxes. I have one in every one of my vehicles. You know, they fit a pistol with a red dot and a light. So if I happen to go somewhere and don't want to bring my gun inside, which is very, very few places. I'm not in many gun-free zones because at least mine is there. You know, I would have a spot to lock the gun away into a safe, but it's not really a safe if it can just be picked up and walked away with, right? So what am I learning? In my truck, I'm going to have a legitimate safe installed, but I'm still not going to leave guns in the vehicle overnight. I'm just not going to do that anymore. I have done that. Without getting into how I operate, it's going to change a little bit. My heart goes out to the guys and gals in my class that were victimized. We've all lost something. Some people lost guns and other stuff. Some people just lost other stuff, including myself. And some of those items were very big ticket items. But always watch your surroundings. It's something I usually do all the time, but we got back Saturday night at midnight and had to have a quick turnaround, had to be back at the range in about 8 hours. So some of us got comfortable. Maybe. How am I just pissed off at the law enforcement? Let me tell you this. Like, I know people are going to make comments or whatever. I was in the field for 24 years. And just to show you how far law enforcement's come, if when I was doing, when I was a report car, if I showed up and there were 10 vehicles broken into, 4 guns were stolen, many surfaces suitable for fingerprinting because it hadn't rained, people hadn't gone into their vehicles yet. I was the first one who noticed it because when I got out of the shower, I saw my OnStar notification on my phone, and I'm the one who alerted other people. So many surfaces were suitable for printing, including objects that were lifted out of people's car and left outside. And the cops, they didn't do anything that we would have done in the past. And it's not on them because they told us they made the calls. What do you mean, Jared? Get a little more detailed. So when you call the police, a car comes, that's what we'd call a report car. That person is there to see what happened and do the initial report. If there's something that needs more work, more investigation, like fingerprinting, blood samples, photographic evidence, stuff like that, that's the Detective Bureau. And the Detective Bureau they weren't coming out. They didn't care. 4 guns were stolen. That stuff would have never flown when I was a report car. You would have had to do that stuff, otherwise you would have been admonished or terminated for dereliction of duty. And that's just the way law enforcement is today. They just, at least in this instance, just do the bare minimum. So you guys and gals, you are on your own. I am on my own. We are on our own. Prepare for that. And don't ever, if you can avoid it, don't ever leave guns in a vehicle if it's not in a spot that is basically secure, like your garage or something like that. I know the truck gun thing, or have a gun in a vehicle and leave it there. I understand that thought process, but this could have happened to you, could happen to anybody, and could happen to you today. So learn from what we went through. Don't leave guns in vehicles unless you have a real safe. Like I said, there was one gentleman who had a real safe, and they tried their damnedest to get into it. They tried combinations, they tried pulling it out, and they couldn't because it was bolted to the damn vehicle. So if you have one of those, maybe you're good to go. But if you don't, if you use one of those little clamshells, man, toss that shit out. I got 5 or 6 that are going to be tossed out today. So I just want you all to understand, it's us. Law enforcement ain't going to be there to save you. And when they do come, unfortunately, they'll be doing the bare minimum, some of them. To my classmates, I appreciate all of you. I appreciate the love over the weekend, and I look forward to helping you guys grow, and looking forward to doing some more firearms training with y'all. Guys, let me know what you think, if any of this information helped you, and also do me a solid if you can. 1/3 of the people who watch this channel for news, they don't subscribe, and it helps the channels you watch immensely. If you do 4 things that take less than 5 seconds, you subscribe to the channel, you like the video, you hit the bell notification and turn it on to all notifications, and then hit share and just share it to something. Literally takes 5 seconds, helps each channel you watch tremendously, especially in our community where the platforms do not like us. They don't mind profiting off of us, but they don't like us. So help each channel you watch by liking, subscribing, sharing. Like I said, 1/3 of my viewers do not subscribe. So I would be at just about 1 million subscribers if that were to happen. So if you all could help me, I would greatly appreciate it. And I hope you have a phenomenal day. God bless you. And always tell your family you love them. You never know when you're going to get a second chance. And always be safe. Always stay vigilant. Never let your guard down. I'm guilty of letting my guard down because when we got together, there were clues that this was probably an inside job. At least that's what it looks like to me in my experience. There were certain things, and I'm not going to get into it here, that we saw, but because we didn't communicate, we couldn't put the picture together. So be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. It's us, all by ourselves. Take care.